So Dr. Ben Danielson, a 1992 graduate of the University of Washington School of Medicine, a children's hospital pediatrician and director of the Odessa Brown Children's Clinic, is here with us today. He's been named by Seattle Times a quiet hero of healthcare, whose work helps shape children's lives and extends to support an entire community, and he's known primarily for his humility and modesty. But his work has deep roots and broad impact for the city of Seattle, and I would say nationally. He was born in Boston, but was then placed in foster care, and he describes himself as being rescued from foster care, and has a long, very interesting, touching story, and hopefully he'll share a little bit about that today. I don't know if we have enough time, but he went on after growing up in Montana, or
high school in Montana, yeah.
In Montana, spending time in Montana, as you can imagine, black guy in Montana, went on to Harvard University and then studied medicine at the University of Washington. And he's been at the university, at the Odessa Brown Clinic since 1999. Is that correct?
That's right.
So, okay, so we're going to give you a chance to tell your story. I'm just introducing you, but I'm going to start with a question for our students, and then we'll move on to the better stuff. What are you reading now, and why?
First, can I just say thank you for inviting me. This is, it's always inspiring. You never hear how much it actually feeds the people who get to come and spend time with you to be a part of a session like this. So just thank you for letting me be a piece of this space for a few minutes. It's really an honor. What am I reading? So I'm embarrassed to say, but not too embarrassed, that I'm the second time through reading Stamped from the Beginning. I don't know, has anybody read that book?
Tell us more.
The major hasn't started yet.
It's kind of a comprehensive history of this country's relationship to racism, starting before this country was a country. And for me, it's thick reading. And in these days, it's also very circularly informing. There's a lot of themes and concepts that still feel very much present, and some strategies and tactics that feel very much part of past strategies and tactics.
Okay. Great, awesome. What have you read? What were you reading before that?
I don't know. I think I alternate sometimes something that's just pure fluff with something that's deeper.
So you don't want to tell us, okay. All right.
I read a lot of like crime novels sometimes. I reread Langston Hughes and some sort of Harlem Renaissance writing, that kind of thing.
All right, awesome. So why don't you give us a sense of your story and how your life narrative informs and sustains your work?
My story. I think
Briefly,
you covered bits of my story. I was born in somewhere in the Boston area and went into foster care for a little bit, not as long as most, and then somehow ended up in a foster home in Michigan, and then was rescued from foster care by my hippie mom, Jude, who is now retired from the Forest Service, and she went to the place where most hippies in the Northwest go, of course, Eugene, Oregon, and she's very happy. We grew up mostly in DC, and my mom, who's white, and my sisters who are white, my mom made a very intentional decision to, I think, to live in inner city DC because she wanted me to have an experience in a black community and have some of the opportunities that she felt like as not black that she couldn't offer. So that was a piece of her decision for us to live in DC. And we bounced around the DC area for a while, and I was getting in lots of trouble. And my mom had sort of deferred her own dreams of becoming part of the Forest Service. And so she chose to make a change, both out of necessity, I think, and opportunity. And so I finished high school in Montana, and then went back east for college, and then came out here for medical school and stuck around.
Okay. So what fuels your work? What drives it? I mean, you're not just any physician, right? So you're thinking about big problems in the community. So how did that emerge for you or out of your life?
You don't go very far, even in the medical school and early training part, before you realize that there's a great benefit in the technical and academic learnings that you gain as you go through your course, and you realize that there are places where you know that's going to not hit the mark. That's not going to really get to the roots of the things that you care about. And I think that's true probably in law and business and medicine and other sciences and arts. And if you notice that, then you have to sort of do something to complement what is your structured learning and formal learning, maybe with what is your own personal learning. And you create that path for yourself, right? I know a lot of you are doing that already in different ways and in different circles. And it becomes sort of a lifelong thing for you.